Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics here. Hope you're all doing well on this Monday evening. Hello to everyone in the chat, good to see you all. And this is, of course, my five things learned, which is my five talking points from the win over the Sydney Roosters in round three of the NRL competition. And boy, what a good win it was last Friday night down there at Go Media Mount Smart Stadium. It is good to see us get our second win of the season. And yeah, it was a very tough game, very physical game defensively. It was more of a defensive type game, but it was good to see the boys get up and get the win. And of course, this is where I go through and give my 5 points that I take from the game, talking points, and I give you guys my 5 points from that game in particular. So, hello to everyone in the chat. Good to see you all. Hello to Jason Reader. Hello to GT. Good to see you in the chat. And hello to Mod Tahi Bro as well. And like you said there, like, share, and subscribe. That all does help the channel. And guys, it's absolutely free. It only takes a second. So if you are a new viewer, returning viewer, and you haven't done so already, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel, as we are on the road to 3K subscribers, and we want to get there real soon. We want to get there over next couple of months. So let's do the following: like this video, share the stream, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, it's good to see you all in the chat. Hello to Greg as well. Hope you're doing well, Greg. Hello to Jose in the chat. Good to see you, Jose. I hope you're doing well, bro. And yeah, liking, sharing, doing all the following does also help the videos as well, and the live streams. It helps push the content out to more people as well. Gets the content out to more viewers, and yeah, it's much appreciated. So let's get into it now, guys. Let's get into it. 5 things learned, 5 talking points. As also, just a reminder as well, I will be doing a actual full review of the game and a player ratings later on tonight at 10 p.m. New Zealand time. So tune in for that one. I've got a very special guest joining me on the channel. I won't reveal who the special guest is. You guys will have to find out when we go live at 10 p.m. New Zealand time. So that'll be 8 p.m. New South Wales time, 7 p.m. Queensland time. So you'll have to tune in for that one. And that is where we'll be giving a full review, player ratings, and chat about standout plays and stats from the game as well, and give our overall takes on the game. So tune in for that one later on tonight with a very special guest on the channel. And I won't be revealing who it is. You guys will have to find out later on tonight. So, starting off with 5 things learned. So, starting off with my fifth point, and my first point of that one is Egan continues back-to-back strong running games and consistently looks a threat and an attack. Now, I thought Wade Egan, once again, 2 weeks in a row, he looked absolutely outstanding in attack, man, really threatening from dummy half, and also really impressive in defence as well. And look, if Wade Egan continues on with this consistency each week, our attack is going to look a lot better. Now, I know it wasn't as clean in this game than it was against the Seagulls, but look, Egan was still, running the ball and, constantly asking questions of the Sydney Roosters defence. And of course, it was the Sydney Roosters defensively. They were very strong in the game as well. So, look, I think Egan's, if Egan stays fit throughout the rest of the season, if he does play longer minutes, which I don't know if it's going to be, a thing that could happen more regularly throughout the season. But, if he does continue to be very strong each week, consistency, the Warriors' attack is going to look a lot better, and it's going to improve over, well, the rest of the season. So I think Wade Egan, for me, just was so good for us throughout the whole game. And it was good against the Seagulls as well. And obviously, round one, it wasn't his best game, but it wasn't everyone's best game throughout that whole game against the Raiders. So I think if Egan can stay fully fit, and have a very, very strong, consistent game, the Warriors' attack is going to look a lot better. It's going to look a lot better each week, and I think he's going to be a real key player to the Warriors throughout the 2025 season. Number 4, I've gone with Wah's defence shows resolve, and we want to see more of it. Now, each week, look, the Roosters didn't really throw anything in particular at the Warriors in attack. Well, the Warriors themselves had a real good crack at it with the position they had. Now, I think besides the one try that we conceded, now that try was, off an Aaron Clark missed tackle, but that wasn't Aaron Clark's fault. I think, well, it was part of his fault, but it wasn't all of his fault whatsoever. So I think the Roosters, when you look at the side they've got, obviously, a lot's been made of the team that they've lined up with this year, but they still had a good team on the paddock, on the field. Marky Mark, Tedesco, Tupou. And look, I think the last year, if you look at the Warriors, we would have lost this game in particular. We would have considered soft points, and we didn't in this game. So I think it was great to see the resolve and resilience of our defence. It was something that we lacked last year. Our goal line defence, we made an error or two, we'd give up an easy try. We didn't do so in this one, and it was great to see. But look, it's only one game, so hopefully we can continue on with that defensive resolve over the next couple of weeks as well. So it's great to see. Defensively, very great because we only conceded one try, of course, and long may that continue as well. So hopefully we can continue on with it. But defensively, it was just great to see us, put in that shift and resolve, and it was good signs for me. But hopefully we can continue on with that against the Tigers this week. So number 3, we've gone with Tane Tuapiki, kept stepping up and performing. Look, this is despite being out of position. Now, there were a few times during this game, look, he was targeted, no doubt about it, but he handled it quite well, especially marking up against Daniel Tupou. Now, this was my biggest worry going into the game, is how we'd do marking up against a much taller player, and he did his job very well. He was absolutely outstanding defensively, I thought. Did his job there. Very much a threat, constantly in attack as well. Obviously played a part in one of our tries throughout that game. And Tane is such a talent, man. I'm a big fan of Tane. You guys would know that. I would watch Tane when he was playing for the Queensland Cup side on the Burleigh Bears here on the Gold Coast. And when he signed for us, I was so happy that we signed for us. But, the thing is, obviously, he's coming up against Chance Nickel-Klokstad as well. And, Chance Nickel-Klokstad had his best game in a Warriors jersey against the Sydney Roosters on Friday night. So, look, you've got to say, Tane is such an incredible talent. He's an amazing player. Very quick. He's a small player. He's very small in size and stature. But, he does look a constant threat on the field throughout the last 2 games as well. So it was great to see. And look, it's going to be hard to leave Tane out of the starting 17 each week. I know Dullen's going to be back real soon from injury. But yeah, it's just hard to see how you're going to leave out someone like a Tane Tuapiki at the moment based on form. So yeah, I love what Tane is doing. And look, I can't wait to see what he continues to do over the next couple of weeks as well. He is an absolute talent, and I absolutely love watching Tane play. So his performances, are really starting to show why he should not be dropped in the side at the moment. Number 2, Jackson Ford steps up and produces his best performance in a Waz jersey in a while. That's right. Look, I'm happy to put my hand up and say, I was a bit of a critic of Jackson Ford. And look, Jackson Ford, based on his form last year, it was the reason why I thought he wasn't at his best consistently. Now, this is his best game I've seen him play since he signed for us, right? He had a good season when he signed in his first year, but last year was a bit of a drop off in form. So, look, I think Jackson Ford, man, was great to see off the bench as well. Put in a big shift, and he was great. I think he was great, and I'm happy to be proven wrong with Jackson Ford. It's good to see that he was able to come out there and produce a big performance. But look, let's hope that Jackson Ford can continue on and be consistent each week, because it's only this game that we've seen it. But look, if he continues on with it each week, man, it's going to be hard for for me to see the Warriors leaving them out of the 17 each week. But I thought Ford was great, really great coming off the bench as well. Look, very happy to be proven wrong here. Now, some people might think that I'm a Jackson Ford hater, which is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. I just would love to see him show that consistency each week. And look, if he does, I'm happy to be proven wrong on that factor as well. So look, I'm probably one of those ones that said he probably shouldn't be in the 17 each week, but he's come out and actually proven me wrong here in this game. But let's hope he continues on with that consistency each week, because that's really important for the Warriors, and we need that impact coming off the bench, and he can provide that impact if he does produce a performance like that, because he needs to do that each week, in my opinion. So yeah, Jackson Ford, I thought was probably his best performance in a Wars jersey in a very long time. And look, long may it continue. I think he continued to do that. Then it is good signs for Ford and the Warriors as a whole. Number one, Aaron Clark is one heck of a 13 to have, and if his form continues, this is all a positive for the Warriors. And that's right, I think Aaron Clark for me had another very solid game in particular. Very impressive. Once again, his stats very, very strong as well in terms of his run meters. Made a ton of tackles as well. Of course, there was the one blemish in this game, which was the missed tackle for the try to the Roosters, which was Nafahu White. Now, look, I think that try to Nafahu White, I think Aaron Clark was left in the dark with that movement in particular. I know people will say it's all his fault, but I think Aaron Clark for me, wasn't, look, yes, he probably could have done a lot better, but, his teammates sort of left him in the dark with that try, I personally feel like. So, other than that, Aaron Clark was just great, and he continues to produce good performances. And look, I think for me right now is a bit of a lock-in for that 13 spot for the whole season if he continues on with that strong showing there. But that's I just feel like Aaron Clark for me, he is a very rock solid player, and similar to what Jazz is, right, when Jazz came to the club. But I think Aaron Clark provides a little bit more of what Jazz does provide, in all due respect. But yeah, look, Aaron Clark for me, another strong showing for him, and it was great to see. It was great to see that he had backed that up from that performance over Manly as well. So, and look, he played well in round one against the Raiders as well in Vegas, despite coming off the bench. So, he continues on with from what he produced in round one and round two and on to this game as well. So, Aaron Clark for me, one heck of a 13. And look, I think if his form continues, it's a positive for the Warriors moving forward. And look, he's going to be in the side permanently as the starting 13 for the rest of the season if injuries or suspensions do not occur for Aaron Clark. But I think it was very good. It was very good, Aaron Clark. I like what he did. I like what he produced. And he's a player that at the start when we signed him, I wasn't too sure. I had mixed views about it. But now, what I've seen from him in the first couple of games of the season, he has actually shown a lot, and he's proven me a bit wrong there in the fact that he can be a very good, solid, consistent 13 for us moving into the season, throughout the season as a whole. There, so yeah, Aaron Clark was absolutely brilliant there, and it was great to see there. But just into the chat, guys. So yeah, hello to Tans as well. Good to see you, Tans. And hello to Greg in the chat as well. Apologies, guys. My phone is just tipped over. Sorry about that. But yeah, so there we go. Those are my 5 points there. GT is saying here we have a lot of competition for those spine positions. Yeah, which can be a good thing for the team. Absolutely, they can be, because we've seen what our New South Wales Cup side have produced so far. Watched a lot of the games live, and yeah, you've seen with Tamari Martin and Tana Boyd as well. And Tamari Martin is again producing some very good, solid showings as well throughout the first couple of games of the season cup. So a lot of debate going on at the moment in Warriors world about the halves combinations and whether, Tamari Martin should come back in. Now, I thought CHC did play great too. I thought he played a great game as well as a whole. I know some people are still a bit iffy on CHT, and look, I don't think he's a guarantee to be a lock in at the moment, but so far he's showing some good performances. But look, obviously, I feel like the halves as a kicking game can definitely improve, and that's something we've got to step up as well throughout the whole season. But that's still a work in progress as well with the halves and the kicking game, which is important for the Warriors if they're to get results on the field. So yeah, I think that's the key for me. But Macau is saying here Warriors will be hard to beat in Auckland this year, but it'll be interesting to see where they go when they play away games. Yeah, absolutely, definitely, it will be for sure. We've got to make sure we get some wins away from home. Not just at home, but we're going to get some wins on the road as well. So yeah, that's the most important thing as a whole. Hello to Proenzo Vids in the chat. Good to see you, Proenzo Vids. Hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah, congrats to your Manly Seagulls on the win on the weekend. A huge win over the Raiders. So yeah, good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, like I said there, guys. I think with the overall thoughts on how a lot of the players played, and I thought there's so many standouts, really so many standouts throughout this game. We were able to go and get the win, and I know it's not pretty. We could have, in terms of our attack, wasn't the greatest of attack, but like for me, the most important thing is the defensive side of the game is the key for the Warriors. If the Warriors are to win games this year, make the top 8, make finals footy, you've got to produce results like this. And I know people will say the Roosters aren't that all flash, but the Roosters did beat Penrith. They beat the Premiers the previous week, and look, they've still got a very good, solid side, the Roosters. Look, some people might say they're not the best side on paper, but you can only win what's in front of you. So, look, I'm not going to get carried away. I'm not going to get overexcited, but I think there are some good, promising signs from that win, in particular that game. But no doubt about it, we can improve, we can get better, and that's the thing. So, yeah, but guys, I think that wraps it up. This is just this is my 5 things learned. So this is my 5 talking points, guys. So yeah, if you missed the start, you want to watch it back. I do have a proper review coming up later on tonight with a special guest on the channel is returning. I won't reveal who the guest is, but you'll have to find out when you watch it live tonight or when you watch it back. But yeah, looking forward to that one. We're going to review the game as a whole, go through the player ratings, and have a bit of a recap on the NRL round as well, and talk about the upcoming game against the Tigers. So tune in for that one later on tonight at 10 p.m. New Zealand time. So 10 p.m. New Zealand time with a very special guest, and looking forward to having him on to discuss the Warriors game as a whole, give an overall review, player ratings as well, discuss stats and all that sort of stuff as well, and you go through the game in a bit more detail later on tonight. But guys, make sure you like the stream if you haven't done so already. Click that thumbs up button on the stream. It shows your support for the content. It also does help. So click the thumbs up button, click that like button. It only takes a second, guys. So make sure you share the stream as well. Share the video back. And comment back your thoughts in the YouTube comment section if you are watching it back as well. But like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all later on tonight at 10 p.m. New Zealand time. That'll be 8 p.m. New South Wales time, 7 p.m. Queensland time, with a very special guest. We're going to review the Warriors game, Roosters game as a whole, and go through some of the standout plays and stats and game stats and all that sort of stuff as well. A bit of more of an in-depth chat in regards to the game there. But thanks for watching, everyone. Up the wires, and we'll see you guys all later on tonight for another live stream. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys all real soon. Have a good one.